Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome to the behind the scenes making of the album The Oscillating Frames of Light. This is a particular project that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, about a year and a half now. And about a year ago I was ready to record, and unfortunately circumstances and conditions kept that from happening. Physical problems and stuff like that just put a damper on all of that. And now I'm able to begin the process and see it through, hopefully. So I thought I would document this by showing you the behind the scenes, different parts of this album coming together and the things that occur, that may be interesting or may not be. But anyhow, here it goes. What I'm going to be doing here is finishing up on a particular tune, the first song that I had begun recording, and it's virtually completed. All I need to do is to do a couple more parts for the rhythm section, and then move on to the vocal performance or the vocal section for the song. Little background concerning the recording of this. Now, when I began this, the software that I had available that was most effective was very limited in its capability as far as the tracks that I could use. More specifically, the stereo tracks that I could use. I only could use 4 stereo tracks. So when I began recording this, I could only record 4 stereo tracks. Then I would burn that, mix it, burn it, and then put it into another session and begin the process over again. And unfortunately, because of that, once it's mixed. And as the song develops, I want for that mix to be different, and I can't do that because it's like a done deal, So, anyhow, as they say, the objective here is for me just to try to create a certain feeling with the song, because that's really the idea in general. I can't get the mix that I really want. I can't get the professional quality that I'm really looking for. So that's the reason why I kind of put it into the category of being a demo. But because I'm going to be spending so much time with this, and it's all that I have to work with, this is going to have to be my record or album rather than a record album demo. So, at any rate, Embraceable Light. I'm going to go ahead and go into the session here and overdub a part. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and let you hear the part and then go back over it and overdub that section. Now again, this is a fill section for a part leading into another part or transition of the song, and I'm using a African djembe, Ivory Coast djembe, and for the microphone I'm using a Hi-Il PR22 dynamic microphone, which is for vocals, but it works really well for acoustic instruments. Okay, so here we go. Okay. I'm probably going to leave that fill part, but just to show you the process, I'm going to go ahead and record over that and listen for it on the playback and explain a couple things in regards to the connection with the rest of the track. Let's do the playback on that just to hear what it sounds like. Okay, I didn't like that at all, but I just, doing it as an example. Now, what's going on with the other part of the track, as mentioned, I already mixed down a certain section, then I reinstate it within another session, then I build from that and have to remix that and that type of thing. I have two sections, or three parts rather, that is occurring, that I'm playing. All of this is in real time, and none of it's sampled, none of it's looped. It's just played straight through. The first part that I lay down was a part for my war guitar, where I was sequencing a certain part that I was playing that set the pace for the tune, rhythmically and harmonically. And then I came in with this percussion device, which is a split-tongue African drum. I'm not sure exactly the name of this. I just call it an African tone drum. That's my name for it. And I use this for the sequence part, and then playing off of the sequence part. In other words, creating a polyrhythm. And then I came in with a couple different versions of what I could do with the drum, that is the djembe. And I found the best thing for me to do is just kind of play straight through. Very simple part, very metered. That way it allowed the other parts to stand out. And so that's what I ended up sticking with. But in the context of listening to what's going on and then playing fills, because I don't want to remove the section for where the fill is going to be for the other parts, because it's all part of the mix of what I did earlier. And if I would remove those parts, I would be removing a section of the track, which would make no sense. So it would just go dead in that one spot. So I can't afford to do that, to clean it up. So I have to play around, or play in between the cracks, so to speak, of the other drum parts, so that they don't layer on top of one another and intrude upon one another. So when I play through something, this is the reason why I did this example and then played it back. Sometimes when I'm listening and then I'm playing something, especially when it's an acoustic instrument, I hear mostly the acoustic instrument and I can't hear the track, because this is pretty loud and it's in my face and I'm concentrating on this. And so I can't really properly hear the other parts to play against, if that makes any sense. I know where the rhythm's at, but I can't hear the individual parts until I hear the playback. Then I see how that may have worked or not worked. And that's the only way that I'm able to determine. That's the reason why I did this example. I'm going to go ahead and keep the first part that I did. And I'm going to go ahead and play that again. Okay, so there we go with that. Now, the objective here is for the whole of the tune to have a certain vibe and certain feeling. Just a little footnote in regards to recording. This can be a very tedious process, especially recording this way with acoustic instruments. When you're doing digital recording and you're doing sampling and stuff like that, that's like simple. It's much easier to do. You can quantize things. You can do things. It just becomes a lot more. It's an easier process. I found this to be the most difficult process, especially when you're playing all the way through and you're not looping anything. You're not taking recorded sections and then looping it over again. I don't do that with any of this stuff. I don't plan on doing it with any part of this album. I'm trying to keep this as organic as possible. And with that comes a lot of human inflection and error. But you know what? I think that's something that's very much missing. You know, and that's another reason why I wanted to do it this way. But at any rate, so I thought I'd just share this with you. The next stage that I'll do, another little snippet thing, is I'll do the process of, or go through the process of recording part of the vocals for this, because I'm pretty much finished with this track, except for the vocals, and then we'll move on to the next behind-the-scenes process of recording the following tune or song. So peace. Hopefully you enjoy that a little bit. Hopefully you'll get a kick out of this. So peace, everybody. We'll see you next time.